there absolute truth?
All right. I have some biology and science background.
Okay.
There is absolute truth in science, the laws of nature, the laws of gravity. And what's the scripture say? I think it's in 1 Corinthians 15. First the natural, then the spiritual.
That's good.
First came Adam, the man who sinned. Then the second Adam, Jesus, the spiritual. God shows himself in creation. It says no one has an excuse. You are without excuse because my creation is telling of my glory. And his creation has natural laws. So then there are spiritual laws. But I think where sometimes Christians go astray is they think that their laws are God's laws. Yeah. So as my sister was saying, they put the thing, they attribute to God, well, God said this to me, the Spirit said this, or, back in the 60s, 70s, whatever, the 80s, God told me to marry you, and, those sorts of things. They use God as a way to manipulate.
Ooh, so good.
That's good.
What do you have about truth? Who has it?
I think I go along with the science thing. Like, people are so willing to trust things that they have never seen. Like all the things about science, like about the galaxies and about, things work inside of our bodies and about history. Like none of us have ever seen anything in history, but we believe the history books. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things we are never going to ever see about science and biology and history, but we believe those things. But then culture says, I don't believe in absolute truth, or they want to create their own truth because people want to be their own gods. They don't want to believe in our God because they want to be their own gods. And I have a scripture. 2 Timothy 4:3-4. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but have itching ears that they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths.
Good. What do you have? I know you're itching to say.
Well, I'm just leaning because I feel like that word absolute truth sometimes makes me feel cringy a little bit because I hear so much of cultures like absolute truth and blah blah blah, and I just think Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. And so I just come down to it's like some point I just think so much with culture, just like why there's so much I feel like trying to disprove who God is and things. I was like, search him out for yourself. There are natural laws and spiritual laws, but when you start looking at, I've read so many articles. And the more you look and you study the natural laws, it proves that God, even scientists are saying, you see all quantum physics and all these things, it's proving who God is. And so, I agree what you were saying, Corey, about people want to be their own gods and my truth and this truth. You got to get to the truth.
The truth. Good. Do you have the truth?
The scripture she just quoted.
Yes. Thessalonians and what we're all saying.
That is definitely the truth. I think sometimes that we don't understand that science itself, whether it's ever attributed this way, is really the study of the creation of God.
Come on, Flo.
And so when you're all done with it, all you're doing is proving that my God exists,
That's
Now,
good.
you can be biased in it, and you can kind of, take some things off kilter. But the thing of it is God himself, the thing about absolute truth is whether you want to believe it or not, whether you experience it or not, it is so.
That's right. It is so.